Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Changeling the Dreaming in the Living World of Darkness. Today, Alice is sent a text ahead to let Misha know that she's coming by the shop and she needs to talk. Some interesting things have come up, and she doesn't feel that it is something they should be discussing readily in the eyes of mortals. So, with that said, Alice will be making her way into a apparently very busy store filled with temp workers and customers.
Yeah, Misha at this point is like she knew that Alice was coming, but until she actually sees Alice, she wasn't going to extricate herself from things that need done. Um, so you can see that she is walking around, basically restocking. She has this little cart with her that she's restocking items on the shelves. Um, and whatever, even if a customer comes by has questions, she always, she stops to help, and whatever else. But yeah, right as you kind of walk in, she'll kind of look up because that little bell will tinkle, like it'll ding, whatever, because customer walks in, it goes off.
Mm-hmm.
And she immediately looks over, sees you, kind of will give you like this little wave. And then she's going to take the little cart and push it, move it back into the back room because she doesn't want to leave it just sitting out in the middle of the row. And she will then kind of move towards Brent, this lovely issue guy who is, helping other customers, probably with Misha's jewelry right now, and kind of lean into his ear to just be kind of, you kind of, it's probably something along the lines of "I'll be back," and sort of gesture towards you, which since he's an issue, he knows what you are. So he just kind of nods, and she'll head over towards Alice, looking definitely like a bit harried, like hair out of place, a little bit, like you could tell that she's been running around.
Conversely, Alice is looking pretty prim and proper, though with slight differences to her wardrobe. Lately, she has been wearing a little bit shorter than what you used to skirts. Definitely mini skirts now. She has on a set of stockings, a thick jacket on, but underneath her jacket, she's currently wearing a very tight and slightly sheer shirt.
I mean, Misha's observant, not overly observant, but probably enough to have caught some of that, but she's not worried about clothing as much as other people might be. She's just not that worried about it. Um, and she'll just be like, upstairs?
Upstairs is fine.
Okay. And with that, she will exit out the front door of the shop, kind of glancing back to make sure everything seems to still be running relatively smoothly. You have to keep kind of a close eye on these temps. Some of them she's actually going to hire because, well, she needs the help. And yeah, she will head up the stairs, unlock the door, and open it for her to walk in.
Alice will walk in. She will take off her jacket, take off her shoes at the entrance, and proceed to look around at how far the apartments come along.
There is a kitchen. Since the last time you were there, last time it was like pipes and like I think maybe some cupboards or something. But there is actual like a kitchen there that is completely there, complete with counters and stove and countertops. Although it's more of a wood block. Like she's not one of those fancy schmancy people. She wants practical. She doesn't want marble or granite. She has like wood block countertops, which are practical and still nice looking. Because you
Makes
can,
sense.
yeah, it's just much more her style. Um, and yeah, like the table is actually set up, the couch is set up. There's a weird looking sort of egg chair in one corner, which I don't, if you, on the picture that I have here, you can see it there sitting in the one corner by the TV actually. It's a weird, so
Okay.
it's a really I don't know, it's a really weird chair. It's like an egg almost hanging from this frame.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I mean, you can see this place is a lot more done. Um, it's just the biggest issue that you really see around is that there's like still a lot of boxes, and it just looks disorganized from what you can see in this
Disorganized,
room.
but it's coming. It's definitely looking closer and closer to finished.
It's an apartment. I mean, it's an
Nice.
actual place that you would live now. It just looks like she just moved in.
Okay.
And yeah, and so she yeah, but you walk in, you basically have the option to choose to sit at the table where there's like four chairs. It's like a small table. Or you can choose to head towards the living area where there's the couch and like there's a couch, an ottoman, and a regular chair and the weird egg chair.
She will definitely take a seat at uh in the weird egg chair, kind of seeing how it feels and kind of doing a little bounce on it to test it out.
It's fun. It's almost like being on a swing.
She's grinning at that, and then will primly cross her legs and put her hands in her lap and smile.
Want something to drink?
No, I think I'll be fine. Thank you, though.
Okay. I got I think yeah, I've got beer in the other room and I'm obviously normal things like water, tea, coffee if you want it. I kind of need a
Um,
lot of coffee lately, but you said no. It's fine. I'm just talking.
it's okay. I was just thinking, beer's pretty normal now.
It is for me, but I mean, at the same time, I try not to during the day. I realize that it could be an issue with work for me because, well, I think we've all figured out by now that I'm not the greatest with alcohol.
No, really?
You're funny.
I try to be, she says with a wink.
So, yeah. But, how are you?
Busy as well. The wedding has been insane, and the performances are, well, there's a lot more performances to do.
Whoever put that weird jingle on YouTube really should have gotten you to do it.
Well, maybe they were trying to be anonymous.
Clearly, because I have no idea who did any of this, and I don't have time to look into it.
Well, if you want me to, I could.
It's up to you. I mean, I don't. The only thing that worries me about it is if someone thinks I owe them a favor now. And since things how I made no deals, I don't see it that way.
Well, that sounds like more of their problem.
I know, but it just makes things really awkward and weird. At the same time, it's crazy being all this busy when I've only been open like a month and a half.
But isn't that perfect?
I just didn't expect it. I figured I'd have to do some like promotions and offer some sales and do things to bring it up to bring the sales up. I thought I'd have a longer period to get good people in to work for me and to build up my to build up the my stock and stuff like that. And I wasn't prepared for it because who would expect that somebody's going to drop these things on me that I didn't expect. And now I'm running around in circles trying to get new artists to come in and put their things in, so that I can sell them. And trying to get decent help is hard. It's really hard. I'm so lucky I found Brent right off, or I would not even get to leave that place.
I can imagine that can get pretty banal really fast.
It could. I mean, it doesn't, I don't see it as banal.
Well, as long as you're happy.
My little store lets me sell what I want. It it even helps the local artists who now have somewhere to sell their things and probably wouldn't have before. And I mean, it's kind of a win-win for everybody, as far as I can see.
Definitely. So, that said, I know you have a lot of business coming in, but I did have something I was going to ask for your help on.
Okay, what you need?
All right, I've already discussed this with William because he is definitely essential to this plan, but so are you. And I was doing some research into Absinthe, and it turns out he's very much he's very prideful. He doesn't like he will not resist a challenge.
Okay.
So,
Wait, you said you've talked to William about this already?
yes,
Huh. Okay.
um, you know,
It explains some things.
basically the idea is that I figured out a way to lure him out. And if not lure him out visibly in a way that would allow us to back check everything that he's doing in preparation for screwing us over. He got a lot of his stuff from Goblin Town and around the city, but he needed a lot of enchanted material, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, it does because he was doing stuff that can be used on freeholds.
Hmm. But there's a limited number of people who sell that stuff. I was going to challenge him to a pyrotechnics competition. Name a time, name a place, and expect him to send the bomb to blow me up in, retaliation for challenging him.
She stares at you. So you're wanting to use yourself as bait to get him out into the open.
Yes and no. Yes, technically, it looks like I'm setting myself up as bait, but more realistically, hopefully, William and everyone else we know would be able to figure out where he was getting his stuff from while he was prepping to blow me up. And then we don't need the competition because now we can trace all the goods back to him.
Tracing the goods doesn't necessarily get him. It just gives us an idea of his sources and we can put those out of commission.
Well, that's the thing is that I was figuring, and this is where you come in, getting him to talk wouldn't be too hard.
I do think that I would be the best for that. I don't even think he knows I exist. Aside from the fact that I managed to, defuse one of his bombs.
No, no, not Absinthe. I mean, get the suppliers to talk and tell us where they were sending everything.
You mean as someone who also sells things and maybe potentially could go in there and realistically ask how I might be able to get a hold of these things?
Yes, William agreed as well because he agreed that he would be better at the keeping me from blowing up part, and you understand business.
Well, I mean, talking to some other shop owner or something is not a big deal. Yeah, we do sort of kind of get each other. There's contracts and business that can be done. I've actually been considering starting to sell chimerical objects if anyone wanted to sell them. I have a back room that's kind of set up for that. I just haven't run into someone who wanted to do that yet. So if I could easily and honestly even talk to them about like things that they might have that they actually sell, where they maybe what their sources are, see if I can get them to talk shop with me.
This is why you're the best.
I'm not sure I'd go that far.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm just tired, busy. As long as you're not actually putting yourself out as bait.
Well, that comes to part two. Because if we can't figure out his sources for whatever reason, then I probably should show up to the competition just in case he does show. And having backup would not be a bad idea at that point. Because standing out there in the open and getting attacked is not probably the best strategy.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. If you think that there might be a bomb at this location, then you probably want both me and Maniva there to try to defuse that shit if that's what it comes down to.
Oh, I was thinking you, Maneva, William, um, and someone who had really good senses, so I was definitely thinking Maxine at a bare minimum.
I just know that Maniva and I can work really well together. Where we can work together, like she can help me, I can help her. Certain things I'm better at than her, certain things she's better at than me. When you put both of us together, we can do a lot.
Sounds like the perfect team.
That's why. I mean, obviously she's a knocker and she's always going to be better at certain things than me, but
Both of you have a knack.
yeah. I also don't spend my entire life, like saying the word fuck to people. Just when I want to.
That's very true.
Okay. I accept what you're saying, but we need to do absolutely anything we can to not actually put you there. It's one thing to make the plans, but I really let's just say that people throwing themselves to be bait at Absinthe has not always been the best plan.
Someone else has tried?
Maybe. Let's just say that I can't really go into anything regarding that subject at this point.
No, that's fine.
But it's not a good idea to do it without having planned out every contingency you can possibly plan out.
No, I totally agree. That's why I went to William. That's why I was coming to you. Because definitely my best friend and my brother should know and might have ideas that will make my plan better. I mean, like, that way I don't get blown up.
That's kind of the goal, to not be blown up.
It is a very long term goal that I'm hoping to maintain for At least another 200 years.
If I had a goal, it would be to not even be in the vicinity of a bomb for the rest of my years.
As I am technically a bomb, that would be very difficult.
Oh, everything's difficult. It's just how life goes.
She is smiling, though, when she said that.
I am not a bomb. I'm a little better at diffusing than I am at building, thank God. I don't really feel a need to learn how to do that stuff, I guess.
Maybe I'm of the same mind as William on this, but if I'm surrounded by evil, nightmarish creatures, I would like to know that I can get all of them in one go.
As long as you don't suicide in the process.
So I'm trying to learn how I can do it and suicide in the process, but come back.
You are not a bomb. Just saying, you are not a bomb. I can repeat that like multiple times until it gets in your head.
She is trying not to laugh. She is biting her lip, trying not to laugh at that. Well, right now I'm definitely not a bomb. Definitely.
I don't think there is such a thing as a bomb, unless it's a really strange part of the dreaming that worries me.
You know, that brings me to an interesting thought. I wonder if there's like some sort of realm out there filled with like video game characters.
I feel bad for them. If that means that Mario's constantly having to go after Bowser, who's always stealing the princess.
William with a mustache in red overalls. And because the dreaming has a sense of humor, Minerva as the princess.
That would be a great princess. Except that Minerva would not willingly be the help. She would be trying to like shoot whoever the hell Bowser is.
While dropping F-bombs.
Yes, especially then. But those are bombs that we can live with.
Fair enough. Oh, before I even forget, speaking of living and all that stuff, so the wedding's coming up really soon.
Yes.
Williams accepted the security arrangements. He's actually officially part of the security.
Okay.
I was so surprised. I mean, Sebikun, he made the offer, and I thought it was nice.
Oh, I should mention to you, by the way, that I just now, this is OOC. When you saw Misha, she has on a chimerical holster and a gun that looks rather familiar.
Interesting.
Yes. That's why I mention it, because she never brings it up, but she is wearing, but she has this, I'm sure you can take, I mean, I can tell you straight out, but you probably can already guess that it's Maxine's old gun with like the roses on it and stuff.
Nice. That's so cool.
But anyway, yeah, so this is on her. So, but Misha was just comment. I keep forgetting to tell people that too. It's really weird because it's something I really need to mention. It's significant.
Definitely.
Well, I mean, let's just say that I think Maxine and I kind of consider ourselves to be our own special part of security. So it's fine.
Definitely that too.
And Shea, I'm sure as well.
She is definitely never unarmed.
Right. I mean, I'm not going to be unarmed. I'm not stupid. I'll just hide it.
I'm trying to figure out where to put an egg in the wedding dress.
Make an egg pouch, or yeah, yeah, give me the dress, and I'll make a little egg pouch on like on the inside, like under the skirt.
That's perfect.
Or I'll make the pouch. I can make the pouch like well, within a couple of days, I should be able to. I can probably. It's just stitching some stuff together, and then as long as I can see the dress, even the day of the wedding, I can stitch it in.
Wonderful.
It's just a little pouch. You just kind of put it underneath all that freaking crinoline.
Oh, speaking of things in little boxes and containers, she says, pulling something out. It's a felt box that she opens. Look what Sebikan got me. It is a beautiful, beautiful wedding band with all sorts of inscriptions into it, just kind of radiating in the dreaming that sense of magic around it.
So is it like just like is it gold? Is it just like it's a gold band with inscriptions?
Um, it's more of a magical kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like the stuff that they make out of the Fey mail out of. I don't know. I couldn't figure out what material that was when they were describing it. I guess mithril would be the best description I can think of from like Lord of the Rings.
Hmm. Yeah, and she'll just kind of look at it. I mean, but there's no stones on it, is what I'm asking.
There are stones embedded into the scroll work. Yes.
Okay, all right. So it's not like one. It doesn't look like a traditional wedding band.
No.
Okay. Um. Yeah, and she'll kind of hold out her hand, like to see if you'll give it to her.
She does.
Cool. Um. Did you set up a scene? Because I'm gonna roll like perception crafts jewelry.
All right.
Seems like a logical thing she would do with what she does. Of course, she's going to eyeball the jewelry.
There we go. Scene set up.
Two successes to just kind of basically look at the craftsmanship and stuff like that, which I'm assuming is very good. So I'll play along with that.
Oh
But
yeah.
she'll be like, "That's really good work. Do you know who did it?"
I haven't asked yet. I didn't even think to.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to. I just, to be honest, I'm kind of fishing around for people who might be able to help me with my jewelry. It's been very difficult to keep it in stock, and if I can make designs and then have someone help me make them, then that kind of seems like maybe I can get more out.
You know what? No, I'll definitely ask.
If you can hear of someone who maybe is looking for some sort of, since I'm starting to get a bit of a name, if you know what I mean. I
Hmm?
I I kind of, if I can find someone who can help me with making it more than creating at this point. Although if they have good ideas, I have no problem with setting something up that they can do. They could also do their own, but you know what I mean. I
No,
just need help.
absolutely.
I need help. I'm just one person, and everybody wants something.
Well, I'll definitely ask Sebastian. I'm sure he knows, and whoever it is would be more than delighted. Um, Speaking of which, I have been working with my manager on this, and so we should be able to get all sorts of stuff thrown your way for like, some music, some help. Um, I still want to do that thing we talked about, and I'm like inches away from getting it approved. but doing a performance here.
We can definitely make arrangements for that. Like that's we will just have to move a lot of the shelving units to the side and or even just take them down and then put them back up later that night. But that's just getting extra help, and that's totally something I've been doing a lot of. The temp agency loves me right now.
I bet.
Yeah, they're making all kinds of money off me.
But you're making all kinds of money off of their employees.
I need the help. It's a win-win again. I just wasn't expecting to be this good this fast. I mean, most businesses take a while to take off. I've done the research. Most businesses don't even run in the red till they're at least a year to 2 years along.
And you're already doing like you're in the black, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good. I'm just it's just trying to get everything so that it runs more smoothly. But you don't have permanent employees yet, and I'm still trying to figure out how to get it all to gel together. Although I do, there's a couple of them that look like they're really promising. So
She'll nod her
anyway,
head.
I'm sorry. I just keep getting lost in that because I have a lot going.
No, I totally get it, especially since um definitely going to need your help with this. But so I convinced Sebastian to potentially buy out a coffee shop.
To just buy it out
Hmm.
for what?
You know the Trod, the exit point in Manhattan was in front of a coffee shop.
Oh, that coffee shop.
Hmm.
I thought you just meant any old coffee shop. I'm like,
Oh no, that one in particular, and some of the neighboring buildings. The thing
okay.
is that remember the library?
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about putting a library in there and then turning over both the coffee shop business and the library over to the commoners of Manhattan.
He actually told William and I about that, but when we had a bit of an appointment with him a few weeks ago, he said that he was looking at he because one of our complaints is that we don't really have good access to the dreaming. We have to go through someone's freehold, and there's a lot of commoners, and we don't have any freeholds, and not all of us are connected into a house or some baron's freehold. And he said that he was looking into setting up a freehold for the commoners to use.
Hmm. Which is why I was trying to convince him to roll the Trod, the library into it, and he agreed.
Now, oh, see, I need to ask something because the last trot I knew about was in the Bronx.
Yeah, the Bronx Trod, according to what Lindsay told me, goes from the Bronx to Manhattan.
See, we haven't gotten to do that exploration scene to find that out yet. That's because Misha, I asked for that. I wanted to be able to explore that and see what we could find out where it went and all of that. So Misha doesn't know that because she hasn't gotten to do the scene that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Okay, so she's just going to be like, okay, so there's a trod. Okay, well, I mean, I'm sure there are trods at a lot of places. It's just I don't know where they're all at, especially in Manhattan.
Yeah, it's a new one. I was with, so this was back when I was with William, and we had a bunch of us, and then you remember, I don't the whole check scene thing. You remember?
Yeah, that was in the Bronx.
Hmm.
I remember it a little too clearly.
And it turns out that Trod is connected to the Manhattan point, so it's not only fast travel, but there's clearly something in between.
Okay. Well, I mean, if that could be arranged, it's a good start.
Hmm. More to the point, I also got the Baron of Queens to agree to donate some books to the library.
In Manhattan.
Yep.
That that's actually kind of interesting because I'm not sure what he would get out of it.
Oh, so, yeah, about that. I'm kind of under contract.
I mean, that's okay if you're willing to do it, but what is it? Like that's what we do is contracts around here.
Well, it's pretty straightforward. I have to do a song at the um uh meeting between the counts.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, that's just you're great to be the entertainment. That's fine.
Hmm.
That's really not anything out of your normal thing that you would do.
Pretty much. So they're going to be donating books to the library. I got Sebastian to convince people in Manhattan, certain nobles, to donate as well. The next thing I plan on doing is talking to some of the leaders in Staten Island, seeing if they have anything they'd like to donate. William said to try to use my position to help as many people as I could, so I think this is one thing I can do.
I mean, if you can pull it off, that's cool. I'm still not sure what's going to happen with Dessa and or her library.
Dessa had a library.
She did.
Does anyone know where it is?
I mean, some people have been in it. I haven't. Probably in her house, I would guess. It's
Now
not,
that is very interesting.
it's not like she had a freehold.
I really wish I knew what was going to go on with that. I did speak with her.
Yeah.
All she tried to do was sow discontent, warning that we all need to be watching out it because everyone isn't as they seem in our group.
I mean, duh. Nobody shows their true self to everybody.
I try.
I don't. I have to trust someone before they get to see much of me.
And that's perfectly all right.
I know. I wasn't apologizing for it.
I don't think I really have much to hide anymore.
It's not about having things to hide. It's about comfort levels.
Hadn't thought of that before.
Like, what am I comfortable letting the world see?
I guess I'm so used to everyone prying in with cameras into my life then. I hadn't even thought about that in a while.
Well, there is a reason why I fixed your phone up so that it would allow you some privacy.
Very true, which I really appreciate, especially with what I've been texting Sebastian about lately.
Fair enough. But I think you can safely assume that Maxine is going to make sure she has weapons on her. We'll make sure you have yours, and I definitely will. Just gotta doctor things up a bit, but it'll be fine. But I mean, not a huge fan of the poof dresses, don't get me wrong, but at the very least, they're gonna hide everything. All you gotta do is flip skirts up and you can get something out that you need.
Agreed.
As compared to
I'm still sorry about that, but you know me.
you're not sorry. She looks at her. You're not sorry at all.
Well, it sounds nice to say I'm sorry.
See, and you're acting like you have nothing to hide.
I am a totally open book. I'm just bound by two covers.
Well, aren't we all? Some of us in more interesting ways than others, actually, but that is not something I'm going to go into.
So you were right.
I usually am. She literally just grins at her.
It was really easy talking to Sebastian about it.
That's probably a good sign, really. I mean, if you can't talk to whoever you're dating or whatever about this stuff, then you got to find some way to do it, or it's not. But nothing's gonna work right.
It was completely different. It was. But thank you. I. The point is, thank you.
You're welcome. Just it's about your comfort, and well, his too, but yours is just as important as his. So it's going to be crazy down there when I get back. I just have this feeling.
She kind of looks at the floor. No, it's definitely going to be crazy. I mean, you can practically feel the vibrations.
Misha just shrugs. It's probably true.
I mean, there's so much emotion, so much. It's. You know what it reminds me of?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if you know a lot about my kith,
I
but
mean,
every one of us has a collection, and it's. It reminds me of the pride someone feels when they get to, you know, show someone what they've collected, what they've worked so hard to build.
are we talking about your wedding or my business or
Your business.
just wondering? We've kind of bounced back and forth a lot.
I apologize for that. I've been really everywhere lately.
Yeah, me too. You're not the only one doing it. Um, I mean, this is what I've wanted to do. Like, yeah, okay, ideally, I probably would have wanted to have my own little shop that was just about my stuff. But I have to be real. I make what I want to make. Unless it's a commission, then I mean, I'll do what I got to do. But my stuff's kind of a very specific taste, and I don't want to change what I do just for everybody else. That part's for me. I make what I like and what my style is. So I found a way that I could make my stuff and sell it, but still make money off of, in another way. And yeah, I mean, I am proud of what I've made. It it's mine. But anyway, for all that I might complain about it being busy or trying to keep the temps actually moving and not acting like idiots, it's worth it.
I'm really glad.
We all have our goals.
Now to figure out what mine are going to be going forward.
I don't understand.
Well, I mean, it's like your business. I've I just in my case though, I don't know what to do now that where I am. Like getting books for the library is one thing, but trying to figure out how to advocate for commoners, how to there's a lot of dreams now that I have to work towards making come true.
Then it's not about not having goals. It's about what you can pull off in the time or the situation that you're in.
My mom always said that it's not a goal unless you know exactly how you're going to get there. I don't know.
It'll fall together. Yes, probably it will. And if it doesn't, you'll work on it till it does. That's the thing. If you're willing to put in the work, then you can accomplish at least that's how I see it. If I'm willing to work hard enough, I can accomplish stuff. You just have to be willing to put in the work. And I am not afraid to put in the work. I went to school. I learned how to run a business. I've learned how to make jewelry that I love. I you see what I mean? Like everything, every goal has steps. You just got to figure out what the steps are and put in the work.
I'm definitely willing to work, though part of me really wishes and misses back when I could just go running around finding nightmares to fight.
It's just different nightmares.
Nightmares that walk around and bite you like snakes.
Yeah.
I don't
But
even know what to do about Christian.
don't know. He seems to kind of stay out of my way. That's really all that ends up happening for me, you know? I haven't seen him in a while.
I see him in passing a lot because he works for Sebastian.
I'd probably flip him off every time I passed him if I were you.
I'm I want to punch him, so I don't do that.
I say go for it. A good punch in the face would probably help him.
Maybe. Though I think he'd respect me more if I could get my hands on a sword and then show him exactly what I'm capable of.
Well, you could probably get a hold of a sword. That is probably not an issue.
Well, I did talk to Minerva about that.
Oh, she's making you a sword?
Mhm.
Fair enough. She's making something for me too, although it's not a weapon.
Oh, is it something neat?
I think so. But I want to see how it turns out before anything else.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a nice, neat little gadget. So, was there anything else? I mean, no offense or anything. I do have to get back to work. Maybe we can get lunch later or something, or like I don't know, dinner sometime this week or something.
Oh no, that was so rude of me. No, of course. You have work. Uh, sure. Let we can do a lunch.
You're not being rude. I'm just anxious with this whole work thing. You understand?
No, I completely do. Sure. And we can get some of our friends together and finally hang out again.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I have seen some of them recently. Well, let's just say that some of them have begun hanging out together a lot. She sort of grins.
No, that's great. I'm glad everyone's. Wait, there was an extra meaning to that, wasn't there?
Not a sexual one,
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
unless you
Sorry.
want there to be. I mean, we can. I can make it sound that way if you'd like.
Oh my. No, I'm. I'm fine.
I mean, William's involved, so maybe.
I. Oh. Oh my. He has a reputation.
You think?
He doesn't talk about it with me, of course.
He is all kinds of open with it about with me.
Fair enough. Um.
He seems to think I'm his wing woman.
Well, I mean, aren't you pretty good at that?
I guess. I mean, I don't have actual wings. I feel Hall would be better at that than me. But in the more traditional term of it, yes.
Well, and I don't want to keep you from your work. So I will let everyone know, and it'll be my treat.
No, we can. Yeah, just yeah, definitely. Sorry, I don't mean to be weird.
Misha, in my opinion, you're never weird.
Oh, you have such weird opinions. She
Well,
stands up.
keep in mind, I think Hall is perfectly normal too, so
And
that should give you an idea of my standards.
normal? Oh no. Oh no. Come on. walk me out to the door to, you know, my lovely, lovely business.
Absolutely.
She'll kind of start heading towards the door at that point.
And Alice will walk with her out. Is that good stopping place?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
All right. Thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and have a good day.